Hey, Billy! Alright. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to While Supplies Last. Tonight, our guest of the show is the latest release from legendary game devs From Software, and a surprise smash hit with both new and returning fans. Please welcome to the show, Elden Ring Nightreign. Hi, thanks so much for being here. Gotta say, I'm a huge fan. If you don't mind, I'd like to get started. Our first question for the night: who the fuck do you think you are? Nightreign is a lot of things. It so clearly wears its influences like a badge, but it still feels completely its own. FromSoft said they were gonna start getting wild after the success of Elden Ring, but I didn't expect something this different this soon. Its gameplay is definitely iterative of the FromSoft formula, but they're pulling in more influence from modern gaming trends than ever before. That's not to say their signature charm, vagueness, and difficulty aren't here. They're on full display. And I think that's what makes this game feel more refreshing than if Ubisoft or EA tried to do something similar. How we doing up there, boy? Are you my co-host? So, let's start breaking down Nightreign. And let's start with the bad stuff. I won't lie. I didn't like this game at first. As with every Souls-like, there's a learning curve, and yeah, it's gonna be frustrating. But usually you can engage with that learning curve, like, at your own pace, on your own terms. Here, the added pressure of a shrinking zone and trying to coordinate with teammates makes everything so much more stressful. And then there's the communication. Or lack thereof. You have a ping. That's it. The gestures and prattling pates, they're in the game, but good luck finding the time to use them, and much less a teammate who actually realizes that you're trying to communicate with them. I do really wish that the prattling pates would be louder, or have some kind of, like, subtitle notification for your teammates. It would just be nice to say, thank you, I'm sorry, or you're beautiful. But whatever, we got the ping. And the ping does an okay job. When everyone's on the same page, it's fine. But that is never a given, especially when you're playing with randoms. As much as I want voice chat in Elden Ring Nightreign, I am aware that it would be toxic as hell. Because when things aren't going smoothly, people start arguing with pings about where to go, who's not carrying their weight, or why we should go to the castle even though we're only level 2. It gets toxic fast. Honestly, I wonder if From Software left voice chat out on purpose because they knew how bad it would be. Sometimes you get a duo who just doesn't seem to give a shit that they're on your team. Or you're on their team. It's one team together, that's the whole point. And other times you get salty babies who just quit when you don't follow their every ping. I can't stand here and act like I haven't been either of those people, but the extra layer of communication would go so far. Playing with randoms is fucking rough. And I don't know if I got thrown into, like, shitty lobbies because I did quit out a couple times and now it's just a vicious cycle, but, like, fuck me. It's rough out here. I have issues with the randomized loot in Nightreign. It kinda sucks when you fight tooth and nail just to get 3 options that do literally nothing for your build. It really sucks when that happens over and over again. I do really wish that the 10,000 runes was always an option on the boss rewards, or if there was some way to sell items and maybe get back some runes. And oh, for the love of America, get the gradual flask restoration the fuck out of here. That's actually the worst option. It is a hindrance. It's worth saying, even if your rewards might not be useful to you, it's definitely worth keeping an eye out for items that would benefit your teammates. Be sure to check that team list, and if your buddy's looking a little meager, or you got something that would be better in their hands, throw it their way. Remember, we're a team. Unless you're a fucking masochist who's playing this game solo. But I am one fucking bad day away from just figuring out how to play solo on my own. Yeah, Nightreign has issues with the lock-on camera function. I mean, like, FromSoft games have always kind of had issues with this, but early on in Nightreign, it was a serious problem. Like, it was locking on to targets that I wasn't even looking at. It would just switch targets randomly. It wouldn't lock on to teammates that I was desperately trying to heal. I highly recommend going into your settings and turning off the auto lock-on feature. It is still weird sometimes, but this helps simplify some things for me. And fuck you, and fuck the way that you look, fuck the clothes that you wear. I can't believe you would walk in here with this audacity. Hi everybody, welcome back to the show. Today we're talking about the good stuff of Elden Ring Nightreign. I mean, I can go on and on about how this game pisses me off, but I can't stop playing it, so that's gotta mean something, right? First off, the game is beautiful. From Software's charm is there for sure, and the spectacle of the bosses meets and exceeds my expectations. The final boss literally cuts through reality to change the environmental effect of the fight. The make a deal option with Libra both before the fight and randomly in the world is so cool. It gives like actual character to a boss that you would normally just like beat the shit out of and then maybe read about later. Small detail, but the symbol of avarice being back is amazing. I just wish it wasn't transparent. I want the full nasty ass tongue out mimic face in all of its fucking glory. It is worth noting that because the symbol of avarice is in Nightreign, that does suggest that mimics are also in Nightreign. I don't know if nobody's seen them yet, but like I do need mimics in Nightreign. And when you add them, I need you to not say anything in the patch notes. The Everdark Sovereign versions of the Night Lords are awesome. The sheer spectacle and difficulty is like almost intimidating at times. Like I don't know what's going on, but I know it's beautiful and it's about to whoop my ass. The scale and grandeur of the original fights was already impressive, but the Sovereign versions just like push it to this whole other level. And I love that FromSoft is drip feeding content this way too. It gives people reasons to come back weekly instead of just grinding out all these fights in the first few days of release. The lore in this game is pretty good too. There's a lot more going on with the story than I originally thought. I love all of the characters and their voices are amazing. The remembrances are a really fun and clever way to expand on these characters too. It's great seeing them interact. I just wish that there was more to each quest. I also like the small ways that it does tie back into Elden Ring's lore. The opening and post-credit cutscenes do a good job to establish this as like a splintered reality from our main Elden Ring timeline, and then kind of bring it back into the fold at the end there. Also, the new Pot Boy is the best Pot Boy. Don't get me wrong, I love Alexander, but this boy has got drip and style! From Software's level design is damn good as always. Making an intricate world that guides the player naturally is hard enough, but when you factor in the pace of the gameplay and the ever-closing zone, it's remarkable how well it all flows together. I think this is all most evident in the Shifting Earth areas, since those have like specific goals to reach and require more navigation. It's all like a micro-progression system. Each run, you learn a little bit more about the map. It took me a while, but I've really learned to appreciate that. That said, I do think we need more maps eventually. Definitely not more than one at a time. We want to give the community plenty of time to like get used to these maps and learn the in and outs of them before throwing more at them. Now let's talk about the future of Elden Ring Nightreign. A DLC has been announced. No details yet, just that it's happening. I'm betting we'll get some new Nightfarers, but I could also see it turning into a full-on Shadow of the Erd Tree update for Nightreign. My guess, maybe a new Shifting Earth area of like the Abyssal Forest, or maybe the Jagged Peak, like filled with dragons. I do really hope that they bring back some of the weapons from Shadow of the Erd Tree. Obviously, a lot of the boss weapons were super cool, but I would love to see the Smith script throwing weapons, and also the backhand blades were my personal favorite weapon. But even the, like, fly leaf arts, the dry leaf arts, the motherfuckers being like, Fuka! Like, let me do that in Elden Ring. Let me give it a little, Fuka! There's really not quite enough of that in Elden Ring. And, you know, we got it in Shadow of the Erd Tree, and frankly, it's bullshit that it's not already in Nightreign. If we're gonna be getting more content for Nightreign, I think the smartest thing From Software can do is pull more and more from Dark Souls. If we got a new map that was entirely Dark Souls themed, that would just be too fucking cool. But more than anything, what I really want, and I think what this game needs, is more field enemies and more bosses. The usual mobs are just starting to get super repetitive. I mean, it's not unusual to fight multiple of the same bosses in the same run. And like, there are some enemy types, like the spiders in the Dukesteer Freya fight, that are super underutilized. They would be perfectly at home at like the Poison Ruins, or you could even put them in the Deathblight Ruins. But we only see them in the boss, and instead at those places we see the same enemies over and over again. Give me Bone Wheel Skeletons, toss a Capra Demon in there, or a Taurus Demon. I don't give a shit. There's a ton From Software can pull from the Soul series, and even Elden Ring. If they really plan to make this a live service game, they're gonna need more than just bosses. Linvale needs mob variety. While we're talking about adding stuff to Nightreign, let's talk dream bosses. There are so many amazing Elden Ring bosses that deserve to come back with expanded movesets. I'm talking Melania, I'm talking Rolana, the sister from the DLC, the sister from the main game is a bitch. You needed your daughter to bail you out of the fight because I beat the shit out of you and your weird little crippled children all over the ground. Placidusax and the Fire Giant, all great options. But if I could pick one Night Lord level boss, it's gotta be Radahn. And then for Phase 2, Consort Radahn. That fight would just be an absolute spectacle, and it would probably have to be an honorary Night Lord just because of the scale needed. But then again, maybe we should let poor Radahn rest. An obvious pick if we're adding bosses to Nightreign would be Ornstein and Smoke. It's still one of the best fights From Software has ever designed. I don't think anybody would be bummed on this. A duo fight I would personally love to see would be Fume Knight and Sur alone from Dark Souls 2. It's got that big and heavy plus quick agile dynamic combo, and it would be a sick callback to ONS. Or if you wanted to lean into the deepest lore, go with Fume Knight and Velstaff. It's a legendary duo from Dark Souls 2 lore that we never got to fight, but I would personally just love to see. And while I'm on my Dark Souls 2 bullshit, the Burnt Ivory King and his army, like as a boss fight or a raid event where the old Chaos Gate opens up and they come marching out, that would be so fucking cool. Okay, one more thing. I know this is a long shot, but just give me like a 0.0005% chance of an Armored Core 6 boss showing up. I'm just saying. Alright, let's talk character skins real quick. Obviously, I would love to see more original skins for the Nightfarers, besides, their Remembrance skins, which, besides Raider, are all the exact fucking same as their starting skin. Whatever. If we're getting more Dark Souls skins for the Nightfarers in the game, here's my personal list. For Wilder, Sir Wilhelm of Dark Souls 3. For Duchess, Lucatiel of Dark Souls 2. The Raider, Andre the Blacksmith. I thought his Remembrance skin was an Andre skin at first. Apparently I was wrong, so let's do that. And if not, Igon of Karim from Dark Souls 3. For Iron Eye, Marvelous Chester from Dark Souls 1. The Executor, Sword Master from Dark Souls 3. For the role of Revenant, I elect Titchy Grem or Grey Rat. They are small. For Recluse, Big Hat Logan from Dark Souls 1. And for Guardian, Patches, the Unbound, the Untethered, the Hyena, the Spider. I think Nightreign is close to greatness. It's hard, satisfying, beautiful, and a breath of fresh air to those of us who love summoning players in other From Software games. But I'm not sure I can recommend it to any old Souls player. It's just not the same kind of game. I mean, I even struggle to call it an action RPG. Even on its merits, Nightreign can feel at odds with itself. The fast-paced nature can be fun and exhilarating at times, but when things start getting rough, it just exaggerates any and all frustrations. Same goes for playing with teammates, random or not. The game is hard, and relying on others can be frustrating. At least with other From Software games, I know when I lose, it's because of my own faults. As a solo player, random teammates of varying skill can sometimes just feel like I've wasted time. And again, I can't act like I haven't rage quitted or wished my teammates would just give up so we can all die, but I've also had great runs where despite being a man down, we locked the fuck in and got it done. I also won't stand before you and act like I'm a perfect player that everyone needs to replicate. Sometimes I fuck up. Sometimes I don't know how to get up a cliff, and sometimes I didn't mean to fuck off from the whole team, but I did. It's the inconsistency of it all that makes it hard to decide if I actually like Nightreign. When it's good, but when it's bad, it's so fucking bad, and it just feels like, what's the point? I'm not sure these kinds of frustrations are the kind of thing that can be fixed with balancing patches or adding more content, the fundamental core of this game is just hit or miss for me. Regardless, I applaud From Software for trying something new. I'm extremely curious about their upcoming Switch 2 game, the Dustbloods. But ultimately, after getting all the achievements, 120 hours, and finishing every Remembrance, I don't know how much I'm gonna keep playing. I'll definitely check in when the Everdark Sovereigns drop new content, and of course for the DLC, but that's just it. It's a live service game. Its replayability hinges entirely on how much content From Software can churn out. With Elden Ring and Dark Souls, I keep coming back for the world and the stories of those games. With Nightreign, I'll come back to see what's new, but I might not stick around. Anyway, it's been an honor having you on tonight's show. If you could please exit the stage without saying anything. Thank you. Thank you. Give him a round of applause, everybody. Elden Ring, Nightreign. Alright, and I just want to take a moment to thank you, the viewers at home, for putting cat hair in my mouth, and for watching tonight's video. I had a lot of fun making this, and I hope you had fun watching it. I can't make any guarantees about the future of this channel, because I'm spiraling into ADHD and depression. Thanks again, while supplies last. Or something.